Welcome to Shifting Powers, where we uncover the forces shaping our world. Today, we're diving into one of the most debated geopolitical moves in recent times. Why is China forgiving billions of dollars in African debt? Is it a simple act of generosity, or is there a larger, more calculated strategy behind it? Stick around as we unravel the layers of this fascinating story. In a series of announcements over the past decade, China has forgiven substantial portions of debt owed by African nations, amounting to billions of dollars. These announcements often coincide with high-profile forums, such as the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, FOCAC, signaling China's intention to present itself as Africa's most dependable partner. While the gesture may appear altruistic, many analysts argue that this is a strategic move designed to secure long-term influence in a region rich with resources and geopolitical significance. China's relationship with Africa isn't new. It began decades ago with investments in infrastructure projects like railways, ports, and power plants. However, it wasn't until the launch of the Belt and Road Initiative in 2013 that China's engagement with Africa took on a more comprehensive and strategic dimension. By funding projects across the continent, China positioned itself as a critical partner in Africa's economic development. Yet the financial model often relied on loans, creating what many critics call debt trap diplomacy. Forgiving debt might seem counterintuitive for a lender, but China's motives are far from charitable. By writing off debt, China strengthens its soft power, securing goodwill among African leaders and their populations. This approach aligns with Beijing's broader strategy of creating a bloc of countries that align with its policies on the international stage. Debt forgiveness also prevents the reputational damage that might arise from enforcing strict repayment terms on countries already struggling with economic hardship. In short, it's an investment in influence rather than a financial loss. Africa's wealth of natural resources plays a pivotal role in China's strategy. From cobalt in the Democratic Republic of Congo to oil in Angola, these resources are essential for sustaining China's manufacturing sector and technological advancements. By forgiving debt, China ensures continued access to these resources under favorable terms. Moreover, this strategy keeps rival nations like the US and EU from gaining a foothold in resource-rich regions. The Belt and Road Initiative, China's flagship global development strategy, is closely tied to this debt relief strategy. Many of the forgiven loans were tied to BRI projects, which often left African countries with mounting debt. By forgiving this debt, China maintains its influence while allowing the narrative around BRI to remain positive. The forgiveness also ensures that projects remain operational, allowing China to reap strategic benefits without the financial burden falling entirely on African governments. China's debt forgiveness has drawn sharp criticism from Western nations, which accuse Beijing of engaging in neo-colonial practices disguised as altruism. These critics argue that the loans were designed to create dependency, forcing African nations to align with China on critical global issues. However, African leaders often push back on this narrative, emphasizing that China provides opportunities that the West has historically denied. The debate underscores a broader competition between China and Western powers for influence in emerging markets. From the African standpoint, China's debt forgiveness offers a lifeline. Many nations struggling with economic crises view China as a partner willing to share their burden. However, the long-term implications remain uncertain. Will this debt forgiveness lead to genuine development, or will it cement a relationship of dependency? African leaders must carefully navigate these waters to ensure that their countries benefit without losing sovereignty. China's growing influence in Africa through debt forgiveness is not just about the continent, it's about reshaping global alliances. By building strong ties with African nations, China is creating a bloc of countries that can support its positions in international forums like the United Nations. This strategy could challenge Western dominance in global politics, signaling a shift in the balance of power. China's decision to forgive African debt is as much about geopolitics as it is about economics. While the move strengthens Beijing's influence, it also raises questions about the future of African sovereignty and the role of emerging powers in global politics. Is this a mutually beneficial relationship, or is it a sophisticated form of economic dominance? Thank you for joining us on Shifting Powers. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on the forces shaping our world. Let us know in the comments. Do you see China's debt forgiveness as a strategic partnership or a form of control? Your thoughts keep these conversations alive. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.